Hello. Today's video is about a way to help minimize anxiety. There's a lot of talk about being a minimalist out there lately. In other words, not having tons of stuff. Some people even give away most of their belongings and move into a tiny house or tiny house trailer. By that definition, I am definitely not a minimalist. I need a little bit larger house than that. However, I always have been of the mindset I don't need a lot, and I regularly clean out some of my belongings. Since I periodically help my husband with the unpleasant task of emptying his late parents' home, and I'm also in the process of doing the same with my late parents' home, I've realized this minimalist thing needs to be taken up a notch in my life. No, I'm not going to sell my home and replace it with a 300 square foot tiny house, but I am cleaning out. I found a great deal of pleasure in downsizing. Not long ago, I went through our entire CD collection. Somehow it grew to just over 300 CDs. I have no idea when or how that happened. Since I've ripped most of them and safely stored those MP3 files on online storage, I figured this is ridiculous. The CDs take up a lot of space in my small home, and I'd like that space back. I made sure everything was ripped, and I got rid of all but 31 CDs that have some sort of sentimental value to me. They now fit in one small storage box that's slightly larger than a shoebox. I can't tell you how good it feels not to have that big collection anymore. I also realized that my paternal grandmother was right. Stuff is just more to maintain and clean, which is why it takes up precious time that could be put to more pleasant uses. Some of those uses are things like hobbies or hanging out with the people you love, volunteering. I'd love more time for those things, wouldn't you? Too much stuff also can create a lot of anxiety. There's something about living in a cluttered space that makes me very anxious, as no doubt it does many other people. Since those of us who survive narcissistic abuse usually deal with a lot of anxiety to start with, that's what made me think about writing about and making a video about this topic. If you're considering downsizing, I have some tips to get you started. When considering getting rid of an item, ask yourself, what function does it have in your life? Does it make your life easier? Does it bring you joy? If the answers are no, it might be time to let that item go. When was the last time you used or wore the item in question? If it's been a while, it may be time to let it go. But if it's something you do use, just only maybe once or twice a year, that may be an item to keep. As an example, not everyone needs a deviled egg plate daily, but sometimes it can be quite useful. Consider what your life would be like without the item in question. Do you think you'd feel better or worse without it? If better, send it to a new home. If you're going through items like books and scrapbooks, pictures, movies, or music, do you enjoy having the hard copy, or would you be content with digital-only versions? Digital-only versions don't take up all that space like hard copies do, and they can be right at your fingertips, so they do have a big advantage like that. However, there's also some things that are irreplaceable, so it'd be very hard and even depressing to get rid of them. Use wisdom and balance in these situations. I have a ton of pictures stored online, but I also have quite a few printed pictures from many years ago. Also, if you opt to keep the digital versions, remember, phones, computers, and external hard drives crash. I recommend using a reputable cloud storage for such things to be sure nothing gets lost. Is the item a one-of-a-kind item? That can make it pretty tricky to give away. If the item has sentimental value because it once belonged to someone you love that has passed on, I recommend keeping it if you can. But if you don't feel peace about keeping it, find someone special to pass it along to that you know will love it as much as you have. I firmly believe in downsizing, but balance is the key. Clean out. Give away things that don't serve you well, but keep the things that do serve you well and bring you joy. You may be surprised how much less anxious you are when you realize you have a lot less stuff cluttering up your home than you once did. Thank you for watching my video.